several new names to Formula One, including Lotus driver Mika Häkkinen. We caught up with him after his brilliant qualifying performance.
I surprised myself a little bit. But also, before I went to second qualified, I did really tough concentration before I went out, and it helps a lot. And also, the team Lotus did excellent job. They worked really hard to make car good, and it was quite nice.
Some of the stuff out there over the past couple of days has looked just a little bit hairy, hasn't it?
Yes, that's right, yeah, a little bit.
You said before we came to Phoenix that you don't use the brakes much on the Lotus. I guess that's different here at Phoenix, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. This Phoenix circuit is very complicated. It's very difficult because it's a street circuit. And it's especially difficult because under braking it's really bumpy. Corners not so bad, straights not so bad, but under braking some places so bumpy it's unbelievable. And you have to make really good chassis to under braking point, and it's a bit difficult to ask because before we came here on the Phoenix we did actually 2 hours running in a car, and it's quite a little.
Another new name is Mark Blundell, about to start his first Formula One race in a Brabham. Before they left for Phoenix, John Watson joined Mark for a round of golf.
Phoenix is going to be a new experience. I mean, we've had a little bit of experience with street circuits with 3,000, that sort of thing, but not with concrete walls. So.
No. But you realise, in fact, you're a bit of an endangered species. You're the first Englishman to get a drive in a British Grand Prix team on merit. Now, how did all that come about, do you think?
Well, yeah, obviously that is a bit of an endangered species these days, you're right. I mean, obviously having that Williams test contract helped me out an awful lot. I mean, I have to give a lot of thanks to Frank and Patrick there. I mean, they pushed me a hell of a lot. Also Brabham, they've made a gamble. They've took a bit of an flyer on me, made a little bit of an investment, I feel. So it's just down to me now at the end of the day to pull it all together and sort of, you know, make the dream come true.
Have you got any basic sort of game plan at this stage, or is it just to try and get the cars through qualifying without any trouble and just take the race as it comes?
Take the race as it comes, really. I mean, this car is not our ultimate car for the moment. It's like an interim package, so we know in realistic terms that it's not, you know, ultra competitive. So it's just a case of getting in the race, getting a reasonable race set up, and for me, firstly, it's just a finish. And if I can get a few sort of Grand Prix distances under my belt, I'll be happy. Then after that, when the new car comes on board, then look to go and score some points.
Well, that looked a pretty competitive drive off the tee here. Let's go and play our second shots and see if we can keep it up.
Okay.
One of the stories on Saturday was the news that Leighton House discovered all three of their cars had been sabotaged overnight. Joint Managing Director Simon Keeble explains what happened.
We left about 1:30 this morning, and about 7 o'clock this morning we returned to the pits. Ilmore arrived just before we did, so about 7:15. The mechanics were just finishing off some work on the T car, and they noticed on the front left-hand side wheel that the brake line had actually been cut, and all the material that covers the brake line was all frayed. We looked further and it had actually been cut. The mechanics on Mauricio's car were then doing some work on his car, and we found a cable had been cut on the oil pressure sensor. And then we started looking on Ivan's car, and all the electrical connectors into the injectors had all been snipped off level with the injectors. So we then looked around, and there were one or two other bits of damage. Somebody had basically come in, snipped through all the electrical components, snipped through the brake line, and then it just left. It was very unfortunate for the team because it left somewhat unpleasant taste in our mouths, but it wasn't damage that would have been discovered out on the track. We would always have found it before the team had got onto the track, so at least it wasn't too serious from that point of view.
One of the strangest stories to emerge in Phoenix. We'll be back here again in a couple of minutes. The race start just minutes away. 28.57. Second 8, Berger, Moreno, Frost and Alesi, and that was this morning's warm-up.